We are live, Friday Night Live with Matches 860. Olive Wood Pipe from Olive Wood Piper with some of the real Edgeworth Ready Rub. 51 degrees in central Connecticut under cloudy skies. Hoping for a sunny day, maybe 61 tomorrow. Gotta rake the leaves. Anyway, some shouts to the people in the audience, of which there are 38 presently. Rich B1, always glad to see you. He's smoking the Haunted Bookshop tonight. Nigel Gardner stayed up. He's over in England, and we really appreciate you staying up, Nigel. I don't know how you do it. I can't stay up that late anymore. You'll find that out when you get older. Chad is in the house. Thank you very much for the $2 in the tip jar. And for anyone who doesn't know it, Yardism, Chad, usually goes on a live stream right before I do mine. So check him out. He usually discusses very interesting topics. And I enjoy catching them when I can. Who else have we got here? NC Pipe Smoke is in the house. And I think those are the ones who have made themselves known so far. I'm getting a message that I'm not connected to chat, which is interesting. So that means I can't see what anybody's saying. Oh no, that's terrible. 76 in the house, 75 now. And I've said it before, the pipe from Olive Wood Piper, Carl, really loves to smoke Edgeworth Ready Rub or Lane Limited Ready Rub, same thing. Newer version though. I'm going to see if there's something I can't do to get the chat to work. I am not sure how I would do that though. Let me see if I can even put in a comment. My comments go in, but apparently nobody else's does. I better find a lot of stuff to talk about. So, got up this morning, and my only mission of the day was to get a flu shot. I usually get it at work, but there was a mix-up with the person who was supposed to give the shots, and they ended up rescheduling for next Friday at noon to 2, I think it was. And I didn't feel like driving into work on my day off. So went to CVS, and I wasn't sure whether it was going to be a quick in and out or a half a day project, but luckily it was very quick. So on the way back home, I decided I'd do a video, the Haunted Lighthouses video for Halloween. That went pretty well. Got it uploaded. So that's out of the way. And I gave some thought to what I'll be doing for the next couple of videos, because with cold weather coming, I doubt I'll be doing much outside. So I need to get in at least 2 or 3 more videos before it gets real cold out. And I'm thinking of doing my holiday blend video for BRTV. Certainly a much nicer place to put that, where it'll be more appreciated than on YouTube. So I think I'm going to go that route. When I will put that up, I'm not sure, but probably sometime in November. Checking another, there we go. Now, how do I do this now? Doug Owen. Hawk Talk in the house. Quaker Piper. It's going to take me a few minutes to catch up. Where was I? Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can keep up with this. So for anybody who just tuned in, I lost my chat. What happens if I X this out? I hope I don't lose everything. No, that one's not working. So I'm going to have to go with this one, but I won't be able to see. Oh. Pittsburgh Piper, great to see you. Jeff Palmer. Yeah, there's definitely something not right tonight, Hawk Talk. Phil Rivera, how you doing? Artful Codger's in the house. Phil Rivera is saying hi to Smooth Piper, so he must be in the house as well. Yes, he is. John Walker, thanks for joining us. Kevin Corrigan, how are you, buddy? Hope the family's well. Austin Byerly. Austin, I'm going to, I think, do my holiday blend videos and put them up for BRTV. So I haven't really decided exactly what I'm doing with that yet. As far as what I'm doing for the holidays, nothing. Hopefully very quiet. Yeah, Doug, don't buy your wife a piano for Christmas. Definitely not a good idea. Hey, Mark in Rhode Island. Had a great chat with Mark this afternoon, texting, talking about Halloween's past and our favorite candy and stuff like that. And I told him I'm saving all that talk for my Halloween special live stream. I'm going to do a live stream Halloween night at 7 o'clock, probably 7 to 8. And talk a little bit about growing up and the Halloweens that I experienced. Some of my favorite candy, favorite shows to watch that were Halloween related. I got a couple of Halloween stories, I guess. Bona Piper, great to see you. No, Pungo Briar, I'm not wearing a costume. That's not a bad idea, though, for the live stream. Maybe I can find a mask or something. Rick Jefferson, we got Edgeworth Ready Rub from 1970s in the olive wood pipe. Olive wood pipe. Barbed Wire Piper, good evening to you. Dress up as Mutton Chop Piper. There you go. Yeah, he hasn't been on as much lately, and I know I caught one of his videos not too long ago, and he's pretty busy and hasn't really been uploading as much as he was, which is too bad, but life gets in our way. D. Walsh, I had a good week. I was off Monday, worked Tuesday, Wednesday, and then off Thursday, Friday. Go back to work Sunday. Tinker Toy 701. Mrs. Matches went to the doctor Tuesday, I think it was, and they did some work on the infection on her leg, and I believe they really did a good job on it, and she's on the mend as usual. Phil Rivara, Wessex Burley Slice is supposed to be an exact of Edgeworth Flake. I've had Wessex Burley Slice, and no wonder I love it so much. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd like to do a side-by-side on that sometime. I believe you. Peter, Smooth Piper, smoking some LJ Peretti, Tash Kent. LJ Peretti makes some great stuff. Anyone who's never ordered from them, it's really easy. You can find them online, ljperetti.com. Their stuff is fantastic. It's another place that I've never had anything bad from them, and I've ordered a number of their offerings. All the cats are well. Thank you very much. Yes, the custom built. I have some, I think I have some Edgeworth flakes here somewhere. If I can find them. No, that ain't it. I know I was saving them for going out in the woods, because I usually like to go out in the woods. I'll have to look around for them and find them. If I don't end up getting out in the woods with the Edgeworth flakes and the custom built, I'll do it for Halloween or something. I found that Wessex tasted better to me than Solani aged burley flake. Very close, but that was my experience. I'm going to do something funny here. Oh boy. Now I can see the numbers. Got 104 in the audience at 15 minutes after the hour. I kind of destroyed my little comment box. Midnight Piper, am I a sports fan? I like watching baseball. I can watch hockey. I can watch football, and that's about it. I don't really follow anything closely, though. Spokane, Washington. Good evening to you, or good afternoon, as the case may be, in Spokane. Speaking of Wessex and Solani aged burley flake, I see Public Piper did a live stream. I think it was last night. Haven't seen him in forever, and I love watching him. Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker, how are you? Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope all is well. Mike Clark, have a great weekend to you as well. Eric, it's funny that you mentioned that. And I don't know if it's just a coincidence or what, but all I've been seeing everywhere lately is stuff about lighthouses. I wish I had never started this. D. Walsh, I'm a facility maintenance guy, otherwise known as a handyman in an apartment complex for the elderly. Pittsburgh Piper wants to know if there are any airport workers here. With 100 and some odd people, somebody must work in an airport. Joe Yank, good evening to you. Midnight Piper, yes. Janitor, same word. Odie Jones, good evening. Yeah, I read a lot of haunted lighthouse stories over the past couple of weeks. And there was one, the lighthouse keeper, I guess, smoked a lot of cigars. And this is going way, way back to the early 1900s. And people that go to visit the lighthouse comment that they can smell a freshly smoked cigar when they go into it. So they think that place is haunted. One of the other interesting ones was the Block Island Lighthouse off of Rhode Island. And they believe that Block Island itself was haunted pretty much when the Native Americans were on it. And somebody speculated that because there were so many shipwrecks there and pirates got on the island and the whole bit, and so many people died, like in the winter time, and their bodies couldn't be buried until the spring, that there were an excess of floating spirits on the island. But for the lighthouse itself, you had another married couple tending the lighthouse way back, who knows when. And supposedly the lighthouse keeper threw his wife down the stairs, and she haunts the place from time to time. Larry Lepore, good evening to you. I got Yardism. I got a story about a piano from the Titanic. And I was a Titanic nut, still am. But there was a guy who lived a couple of towns over from here who was just a crazy collector. And he got in touch with me one day and asked me if I'd be interested in buying a swatch of carpeting from the Titanic. And he had this these squares of carpet in plastic cubes, and they were all certified and the whole bit. And it turned out it was more than I wanted to pay for it. But I asked him, you know, what was the story behind the rug? And he said that when they were building the Titanic, it got down to the final wire, and the carpet layers were like cutting up all the rug and putting the scraps into this piano. And the piano ended up being taken off the ship because it wasn't supposed to be there, or it was getting sent back to where it came from or whatever. Anyway, it got offloaded over there, wherever, Belfast or whatever. The piano ended up later in the United States in a storage place in New Jersey, I think it was. And somebody opened it up, found all this rug. They tracked the piano back to the Titanic, and that's how they got the rug off the rug scraps off the Titanic. Pretty interesting. Pipe time. Yeah, I've read about a number of lighthouse keepers, and usually they're single. You don't often hear about a husband and wife team because, like I said in the video, usually, especially back in the 1800s, the lighthouse keeper stayed up all night checking the light continually, because obviously that's when you need it the most. And then during the day, of course, if it was stormy, they'd have to continually check on it, wipe the rain off of the glass. And I'm sure that on a good day, they'd have to take the light apart somewhat or whatever and clean the lenses and all of that. So there wasn't any downtime. And to have a woman hanging around, well, you know how it is. I'll stop right there. I'm going to take a look to see what we got in the audience. See if I can do this without making a big mess again. 123. Somebody was asking me what the record is, and I had never really kept track until I think it was it last week or the week before when we hit 149. So 149, we're going to call that the record. Oh, was it 158? Whatever it was, last week was very, very successful. Phil, you kill me. That's why I decided to stop right there. Josh, Dr. Graybo, and some Sutliff Burley. Yeah. Bona Piper, I'm not sure about 181, but I don't keep my eye on it, so I won't dispute it. Hey, Artful Codger, save the movies for Halloween night. Oh, Pungo Briar. Loading up the 673 with some Bold Kentucky. Sounds terrific. So if all goes well, I'm meeting up with Mark in Rhode Island and Brad, Pipes and Kayaks, next Saturday. Haven't heard back yet from Sarge, who said he was going to drive if he was able to get the time off. Hey, Phil Rivara, thanks an awful lot for joining us tonight. I will be at Cartoons before I do my leaves outside. Presbyterian mix for Christmas. That sounds like a good one. I still like my McBaron plum cake for Christmas. But I'll probably add some new stuff to the list this year just to keep things interesting, because I got a little lazy last year. Hello, Gear Driven Smoke. Great to see you. Old Khakis, Wes is in the house. Good night, Pittsburgh Piper. Thank you for joining us. Plum pudding. Excellent stuff as well. It's from Seattle Pipe Club. Bona Piper. My plum cake is, I think I figured out it's 5 years old. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, yes, Doug. You're bringing up some classics there. We'll have to mention those Halloween night also. Pipe artist Steph. And Parikh Piper Skip, thanks an awful lot for coming in. Yeah, Wes. I'll have to try Haunted Bookshop. In fact, I'm going to have that next in the 673. Yeah, I probably mentioned this before, but one Halloween, I listened to the radio broadcast of War of the Worlds. That was a lot of fun. If you've never listened to it, I think it's about an hour. Well worth the time. A pipe tree. Oh, Josh, I guess I'd have to say the New England Patriots. I know. They always win. Hey, Signalman Tony from Rhode Island, great to see you. Artie's Place is here. How's it going, Art? Hey, Wes, I got a story for you about that. When I was growing up, I don't know what possessed my dad to do this, but he got this glass jug. It was about this big, about the size of the Poland Springs water jugs that you put on the dispensers. And he decided he was going to make hard cider. And he filled this thing up, and he had a balloon on it and all kinds of stuff. And I don't know if he threw in yeast or what he did, but it ended up exploding all over the basement. Never forget that. What a stench. And I think, if I remember correctly, it ended up smelling like vinegar when it blew up. Backcountry Pipe, Mark, I haven't talked to you in eons. Hope all is well with you and the family. I watched, you did a couple of videos for Thanksgiving, which was my Columbus Day. Good to see you out enjoying a pipe. If I remember correctly, you were doing a Grabo with the last of your Edgeworth slices. What a combination. Can't beat it. Yeah, Mark, I bet the kids keep you busy. All right, we are going to load up the other Friday Savinelli. I was puffing on the original Friday Savinelli, the original Roma Savinelli. all day today, and it finally was soaked by tonight. So this is the newer Friday Savinelli, and we're going to do Haunted Bookshop, of course. Pipe time. I actually have 5 673s. I only call 2 of them Friday Savinellis, and they're the 2 Romas with the lucite. We will take a moment for our usual shout out to Briar Report and BRTV. For anybody who's been living under a rock, make sure to check out briarreport.org. Get on their mailing list so that you can receive the BRTV guide. You should have received one today if you're signed up. And as usual, it's great fun to look at. And as I say, whenever I get the chance, I'll be putting stuff up on BRTV, along with the other folks, Artful Codger and Four-Eyed Piper and the other 8 or 9 people that are on there. And then since they're not actually putting the videos on their server, they're linking to quite a few other presenters. So you never know what you're going to find when you stop over there. So check it out. To sign up for the BRTV guide, go to briarreport.org. You will see a way to sign up. You can watch the Artful Codger's reading of the Pipe Book from 1946. Back 40, Leather and Canvas. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Mark Stengel, hello. Mark, I have some Capstan Blue, I think 2 tins of it in my tobacco cellar. In fact, I was reminded of that when you mentioned it in your video. BRTV, Josh, BRTV. It's Briar Report's hosting. That was the original plan of pipe and cigar related videos. The Bandit wants to know when we'll get a tour of the cellar. You would die if you saw what a dump it is. So that ain't gonna happen. Both the cellar and the tobacco cellar are a dump. That's correct, Ben. I see you're taking yours apart. Hope that project is going well for you. Doug, I've had the Capstan Blue, I'm pretty sure, once before. And there's another Capstan as well. I can't remember which one that is. But I liked both of them, so it won't be a surprise for me. Yeah, Ben, taking it apart is the rough part. Putting it back or is the easy part. Putting it back together is the tough part. Jeffrey Feinberg, good evening to you. Great to see you. Hebrew Hammer. There's an interesting handle. Yes, yellow capstan. Let's see, Steph. What bands have I seen live? The list is short, I think, and not too impressive. My first concert was Three Dog Night, and I saw Bruce Springsteen 4 times. And who else did I see? Uh, Blue Oyster Cult. Oh, I can't even remember the other ones. I saw a couple on Cape Cod down at the Cape Cod Coliseum. And I might have seen one other at the Boston Garden. I would have to give that some thought. But the Three Dog Night and Bruce Springsteen are the ones I remember the most. Bruce Springsteen puts on a terrific show, but since he got involved in politics, I can't stand the guy. Uh, Chad, I had a chance to go to the Melody Tent in Hyannis, and something, I don't remember what happened, but we wound up at a bar instead. And the guy that was standing next to me punched somebody in the face. And after he punched them in the face, his elbow hit me in the face, and I wound up getting thrown out. I don't know how that works, but that was a bad night. Maybe that's why we didn't end up at the whatever concert we were going to. I don't know. Forgot all about that. That was the Mill Hill Club, I think, in Yarmouthport. Oh yeah, those drinking days were good times. Scottish Blend by McBaron got me out of a deep rut some years ago. Is there a recipe for Haunted Lighthouse? If not, how about Haunted Bookshop and Billy Bud? Hey, it works for me. uh, oh, it's 44 minutes past the hour of 7. Yes, Mark, haunted pirate ship. You just can't beat it. When you put, I would guess anything with Latakia in with haunted bookshop, the two work on each other so well, it's amazing. Bona Piper, Neil Young, that would be a good show. Jeffrey, thanks an awful lot for dropping in. Enjoy your cheeseburger. When should Skip and I do our regular show? I didn't know you were doing a regular show. I'll have to be on the lookout for that. Peter, Paul, and Mary. There's a good show. Lewis from Cape Cod. My favorite spot. Whereabouts on Cape Cod are you? I've done a lot of time anywhere between Yarmouth and Truro. Pretty much always hung out in that area. Usually stayed in Eastham. Oh, Orleans, my favorite. Yeah. Orleans has a couple of great cemeteries. One right in the center there has some really old stones in it. Always had a dream of moving there when I retired, but that ain't gonna happen. Barnstable, nice as well. Yeah, my first trip to Cape Cod, that I remember anyway, I was 3 years old and went to Kingsbury Beach in Eastham. And it was the first time I had ever seen the ocean. And that totally blows your mind when you're a kid, because you are always used to seeing something on the horizon. And to look out on the water and not see anything is something you never forget. And the hot sand on my feet, I couldn't stand it. But from that point on, pretty much went every summer growing up, and then returned quite a bit during the 90s. Took a little time off, went back in the early 2000s, and I think the last time I went was 2016, maybe, and called it quits. Got to be too expensive. All right, we're going to light the bowl here to finish it off. See what people are talking about. Good night, Pipe Gump. Yes, Mark. Classic Fly Tire lives in Wellfleet, another great place. just beyond Eastham. Went to the Wellfleet Drive-In. I remember one summer and saw the original MASH movie. That was pretty funny. Thank you, O'Leary. Have a great weekend. And Mark, have a great weekend. Yeah, Mark, I thought that the TV series was much better than the movie. I didn't really care for Donald Sutherland, was it? That played Hawkeye in the movie. He was all right, but the other guy there was much better in the TV episodes. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up for tonight. As always, thanks to everybody for coming in tonight. Always have a great time speaking nonsense and trying to keep up with what you guys are talking about over on the side. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will catch you next Friday night for Friday Night Live. Take care, everybody.